calling me off air. Go.
Okay. Hello. The purpose of this presentation is to present to you the Sears Business Intelligence Solution as recommended by the Sears BI team, Team D. Members of the team are Matthew Abraham, Robert Bellamy, Judith Flores, Nikisha Gibson, myself, Shirley Honesty, and Ashita Manapaka. Each member will present a section of the presentation. Next slide. This is the agenda that we will be covering. Next slide. First, let me give you a little background history on Sears. Sears has been a major powerhouse in the retail industry, and in November of 2004, it acquired Kmart Holdings Corporation. Sears operates over 700 retail stores, a majority of them full-line stores across all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Sears Holding Corporation operates through its subsidiaries, Sears, Roebuck and Company, and Kmart Corporation, collectively Sears. Sears Holdings has been committed to selling its brands of Die Hard, Kenmore, Craftsman, and various other brands at the Kmart stores. Within the last 6 years, Sears has been operating in the red and is struggling to achieve profitability. Due to continuous decline in performance, Sears has suffered a worst loss of $748 billion. Sears remains optimistic and is focused on expanding its online Shop Your Way platform and integrating its brick and mortar stores, Sears and Kmart. Based on analysis of Sears Holdings' performance, it has been found that Sears' struggling is due to dwindling sales, bad management decisions, and failed attempts to increase product brands. A solution would be for Sears to overhaul the current BI system to address decreasing sales and analysis of performance and market trends. Sears' strategic plan is to focus on their Shop Your Way platform and that is geared towards online and in-store sales to be more flexible and innovative to provide value and convenience to its customers. Next slide. Sears design team recommends an Oracle infrastructure as Sears Business Intelligence System because it will easily integrate with Sears' current infrastructure. The BI solution will allow all managers, executive, regional, account, and sales to have access to operational, private, and external data. The solution will prove to be a valuable asset to Sears because it will provide up-to-the-minute data to identify sales trends, product improvements, and customer preferences. With up-to-the-minute data, managers will have quicker access to detailed sales history that will support forecasting and faster inventory decisions. Sears marketing and sales managers can improve the accuracy of their forecasting by monitoring seasonal changes, slow-moving items, and changes from market trends. This will bring us to our next slide, presented by Bob.
Thank you. My name is Robert Bellamy, and I'll be presenting information on the business case assessment. The business cases researched identified a number of retail businesses that shared some of Sears' complexity in retail operations. The 3 cases outlined all identified cases where specific uses of business intelligence systems, BI systems, proved successful in these implementations. The first example, Sprouts Grocery Wholesalers, was facing a large consolidation as they are becoming one of the largest wholesalers in the farm market system in the United States. They went top to bottom on their BI solution, starting at the CIO and moving down through all of the department heads in order to encompass all aspects of their operation into the BI solution. Next example was in Casual Mail. They implemented multiple cloud-based solutions using cheaper solutions such as Quantasys and OCO SAS, this software as a service. They needed to address multiple forms of complexity in terms of stock and distribution, and they needed quick solutions. So they went to utilize multiple cloud solutions to attack the difference in their business problems. In the final example, Family Dollar found a way to develop a red zone GUI dashboard that allowed store managers immediate access to previous days' operational data and transactional data through a BI web interface. By integrating their POS systems into a roll-up reporting, they sped up their information flow and increased their store managers' agility. All of these retailers provided insights into type of success factors that mirrored Sears requirements. In the project requirements definitions, the primary business problems to be addressed were addressing decreasing sales, developing a solution to the Show Your Way program, and developing existing legacy systems. The project requirements were first developed by mapping out specific requirements directly tied to the addressing the business problems identified in Sears' current operations. There were many requirements, some specific to the solutions and some specific to good implementation of the solutions. In the end, the functional and non-functional requirements were grouped together into specific criteria that would allow the business to address the business at hand. The primary requirements came down to timely and accurate data that is distributable in both scheduled newspaper-style reports and in ad hoc research by all levels of the company, while simultaneously maintaining security and maintaining the compatibility with legacy systems and portability into future cloud-based infrastructure. Some of the key requirements were timely and accurate transactional operational data, distributable reports, provide a business-driven approach, implement low complexity interaction, compatible with existing legacy systems, maintain data security for existing and new systems, and be able to exist on cloud-based or enterprise-based hardware solutions. Now we have Ashita.
Hi, my name is Ashita Mandapaka. In this slide, we will be talking about the enterprise infrastructure evaluation. For a successful BI implementation, it is important to select the appropriate hardware, middleware, and DBMS platforms, as well as develop standard business rules, protocols, and policies. The enterprise infrastructure has two components. One is the technical infrastructure, and one is the non-technical infrastructure. In the technical infrastructure, we have the hardware platform. Since we are proposing to use Microsoft SQL Server 2016 for our data mining and reporting tool, and Oracle Data Integrator, and which is a part of Oracle Fusion middleware, both of them will have a similar system requirements. That is x64 processor with a speed of 2.0 gigahertz. This type of processor we intend to use is Intel Pentium 4 with EM64T support, and the memory requirement is 4 GB. The monitor we will be using is Super VGA 800 by 600 resolution. All the computers will be installed with DVD drive for software installation from the disk. For the middleware platform, a successfully integrated enterprise is crucial to the organization and results in significant cost, resource, and time savings. A successfully integrated system allows information to work harder, smarter, and increasing the speed of business reaction time and facilitating seamless, straight-through transaction processing. For Sears, we recommend the IBM WebSphere MQ, which is a message-oriented middleware that simplifies and accelerates the integration of diverse application and business data across multiple platforms. You can see here we are recommending this middleware for the following features: secure message delivery, dynamic scaling, simplified management, and a unified messaging solution. For the DBMS platform, we recommend Oracle Retail Data Warehouse as a DBMS platform, as it provides retailers like Sears a fully functioning industry-specific solution. It uses Oracle technology while lowering cost and simplifying lifetime support. Next slide. For the non-technical infrastructure evaluation, we recommend the following steps. That is, conduct extensive business analysis by involving business people from various departments to define complex interrelationship among business functions and business data. Enforce a system of peer reviews, precise and standard data definitions, mainly to avoid conflicts. Create forums, trainings, workshops, so as to review business standards and rules and policies. create a non-redundant data architecture, establish guidelines about triaging the dirty data, create and define acceptable quality threshold and instructions for error handling, and create SLA standards that state the business principles and outlines minimum acceptable SLA measures to support those principles. Next slide.
Hello, this is Shirley again. The project planning. To document the agreement between Sears and developers, a project charter is created to clearly outline the purpose of the project. The primary goal of the team is to document the development and details of the project. Since this project is iterative, the team will continue to make changes. A project plan was created to help control the project and to mitigate risk of failure. The project charter describes each milestone required to plan, develop, and gain approval between Sears and the developers. Next slide. The project constraints, resource availability, budget for the project when exceeding the quoted amount due to task constraints. Project cannot be longer than 3 months. Data elements, the amount of data that must be extracted from the old system must be determined to accurately develop the BI system. The required hardware and software needed for the system are delayed due to vendor deliveries. These constraints are anything that may prevent the project from moving further. The team will document in detail the type of system, how to build it, who will build it, and cost. Working with the application developers, the BI infrastructure architects, Sears key players, the data mining experts, the ETL developers, and the database administrators. The team will work through the details of designing the BI system and to estimate the cost of implementing the BI system. Our assumption, the assumption to allow management a view of the sales data, the BI solution will initially focus data extracted, transformed, and load ETL from sales transactions. Next slide.
All right, my name is Jay Flores, and I'll be reviewing the data analysis for this presentation. The information requirements and data needs will be from several sources in order to support Sears and have the business intelligence system to be successful. These sources will include both data sources and human sources. In the database architect, there will be required fields, so the end users that are entering the data, and also there will be fields that are required to be filled in with the value as well as how they're entered, which is the format of the data. The departments and the key roles that will be involved for the data analysis as well include sales, billing, financial, customer service, and research. The key roles within these departments, but are not limited to, are department and regional managers, account managers, project managers, business analysts, and of course sales. Next slide. There are 3 types of data that will be falling under the data analysis. They include operational, private, and external. Each of these have its own purpose to support what data is needed for the BI system. First of all, the operational data will include financial, sales, order entries for online and in-store, billing records, personnel financial records, and lease agreements. These work under the operation side because of the business, which is needed to keep these up and going from day to day. The second one is private data. This type of data will include the trends of sales between quarters and seasons. In addition, it will include the customer traffic by region and store. Finally, the external data will be of customer profiling per region. Along with these profiles will be the competition in the regions, as well as the sales, marketing, and customer satisfaction. Other external data will be any type of industry standards for the region. Next slide.
This is Bob again, and the initial application prototype mockup will identify two particular sections. The first one, it would evaluate the application level interface would involve a web-based GUI that connects to the data warehouse. By connecting to the data warehouse, downloading necessary subsets of requested data, the application only pulls what is A, authorized by a user, i.e. district managers can see all stores below them, managers can see their own stores, authorized users can see aggregated data for stores and products that relate to their marketing efforts. And then point B maintains the concept of LUA, least user access, by distributing only data that is required and only exposing return data sets for which they're authorized. In the second part of the application prototype, the mockup, the distributed data, once loaded from sources, can be viewed on the data reporting console, where it can be effectively sliced and diced into a variety of charts distributed amongst one or more user-defined dashboards. The user can reference data visually through heat maps, scatter diagrams, pie charts, bubble charts, and stack column charts that can provide anyone from biz executives to business and marketing analysts to store managers with necessary data that can increase their managerial efficiency. Whether these mockups are an internal development or developed through a COTS solution, they represent the key interactions that are identified to meet the goals of the business. Matthew?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Matthew Abraham, and I will be covering the Sears proposed BI solution, data warehouse design, ETL and metadata repository designs. As the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I am going to include a couple of pictures in all of the slides I am covering. Number one is the data warehouse. A data warehouse will be the target database for the Sears BI solution data storage. To make it clear, data warehouse indeed is a database, slightly different from the traditional databases in that it is subject-oriented, integrated, time-variant, and non-volatile. Data warehouse is created to store single version, performance-efficient, simplistic, and persistent data from various sources such as the operational, private, and external, as covered by previous slides by Judy. Initially, we suggest 4 dimension tables and 1 fact table for the Sears data warehouse, as depicted on the physical entity relationship diagram covered in this slide. This can be upgraded as necessity arises in future. We used Snowflake design criteria where the dimension tables are normalized to avoid data redundancy and reduce maintenance, and to help run complex queries and maintain high-level data integrity. The Sears operational data through ETL process will be loaded to the data warehouse initially, and subsequent periodical loads. More details are covered in our proposal. Next slide, please. The ETL process. The ETL means extract, transfer, and load the relevant data from the source databases. The source data integrated and consolidated to data warehouse. This data will be slightly different from how it appears on the OLTP databases. So this database is normally an enterprise-wide data, and subset can be stored in, if needed, in data marts. Data is extracted from source systems to the staging table and go through the ETL process at the initial data warehouse design process, and periodically in future to migrate the new data into the data warehouse. That means the data will go through transformation by selecting relevant data, cleansing, and making any enrichment to the data. Consolidate and summarize the data and map it to the target warehouse fields. For the ETL process, the tool that we are selected is the Oracle Data Integrator. ODI. The ODI will allow seers to connect and interact with their source data. The architecture of this tool will require it to be designed, implemented, and managed precisely to receive the full benefit of what it provides. Next slide, please. This is the final slide I will be covering, that is the metadata repository design. The metadata repository model is the central hub for the environment. It is one place where the integration between operation sources systems, the data warehouse, the ETL process, the business views, reports, operational statistics, etc. occurs. The ultimate purpose of metadata repository is to capture and store metadata, that is data about data. There are typically 7 standard components to a MDR model. They are: 1, logical data warehouse model; number 2, physical data warehouse target model; number 3, physical information about source feeding data; number 4, source to target data warehouse mapping; number 5, business subject area; number 6, ETL statistics information on ETL process; and number 7, query statistics. Thank you. And with that, I wish to pass on to the next person.
My name is Keisha Gibson, and I will discuss the application development process. The team involved in the application development project consisted of the Agile development team, the application developer team, and the application lead developers. The Agile approach for a BI solution is to plan, analyze, design, build, deploy, and review. It was decided by our team to adopt the Agile approach to the development of the BI solutions for several reasons. Number 1, it will reduce the time it takes for traditional BI to show value to the organization. Number 2, help in quickly adapting to changing business needs. Number 3, it allows teams and managers to make better business decisions. After completing numerous testing sessions and the reviews of ongoing mockups and functional prototypes, the Agile development team met the project's final requirements of the application. It was decided by the team to host the application on the web. All testing of the application will be executed in both the prototyping and development environment, since both environments are similar in configuration. Next slide.
Hello, this is Ashita again. For the data mining and reporting tool, we recommend the Microsoft SQL Server 2016 that provides online analytical processing and data mining via the SSAS, that is the SQL Server Analysis Services for Business Intelligence Applications. The combination of SSAS, RS, Reporting Services, and Integration Services, SSIS, provides an integrated platform for predictive analytics, including data cleansing, preparation, machine learning, and reporting. We are recommending this tool for some of these following features that I will be discussing. First is the multiple data sources. Any tabular data source can be used for data mining, including spreadsheets, flat files. It also allows mining of OLAP cubes. Next is integrated data cleansing and data management reporting. SSIS provides data cleansing and profiling capabilities. ETL processes can also be built for cleaning the data. Multiple customizable algorithms. The SSAS supports developing customized algorithms in addition to standard algorithms such as clustering, neural networks, and decision trees. Then we have the model testing infrastructure. Data models and data sets can be tested using important statistical tools. Querying and drill through SSAS, client tools that allows data mining add-ins to Excel, for Excel to create, query, and browse models. scripting language support, and security and deployment that provides role-based security, including separate permissions for accessing data and models, provides an easy way to productionize the models. In SSAS, we can apply data mining algorithms to the data to forecast trends, identify patterns, create rules and recommendations, analyze the sequence of events in complex data sets, and gain new insights. This would help seers in making sound business decisions based on data that is statistically and analytically researched. Next slide. For the reporting tool, we are using the Microsoft Reporting Services, which is a server-based platform that provides reporting functionality for different data sources. As you can see, it has a number of features. I'll discuss a few. Firstly, it provides a consolidated view of data from different data sources to help in business decision making. Data can be visualized in various ways like tables, matrices, and cross tabs, drill downs, hierarchies, charts, performance indicators, etc. Reports can be published on SharePoint site so that they can be used and shared across the organization. And primarily because it comes with no additional cost, and it is a part of the SQL Server 2016 suite of products. And it also has a new alerting feature that allows users to define alerts to monitor changes to the report. This is especially helpful because Seers has a number of stakeholders that would have access to the report, and any changes to the report, an alert would notify to its members, thus providing version control of the report. Next slide. Here are the few examples of samples of Microsoft SSRS reports. One is the SQL Server mobile reports, and one is the reports that can be seen in the web portal. Next slide.
There were 6 steps involved in the implementation process. Step 1, the implementation was carefully planned by extending the process out an additional 90 days to make sure that all resources needed for the implementation would be available. Step 2, the production environment was set up, which included libraries of the ETL application and the metadata repository. The production databases were set up. The appropriate access was given on production databases. Appropriate access was given also to developers, operations staff, and business people. A reference guide was also prepared for the help desk staff and the business people with instructions on how to use the BI application. The production security levels for all components of the BI application was also determined. Step 3 involved installing all BI application components. What happened in that step was we moved all ETL programs, application programs, and metadata repository programs to their respective production libraries. Step 4, a production schedule was set up in 3-week increments. And in step 5, we loaded the production databases. Step 6, we prepared the application for ongoing support. And last but not least, the application was implemented using the incremental rollout, which will reduce the risk of exposing potential defects in the BI application to the entire organization. Next.
Judy here again, and what we cover here is the release evaluation for this project. In the post-implementation, there will be a release evaluation. This meeting will be held off-site. The goal of this meeting is to evaluate how the implementation of the BI system worked from the beginning to the end. The parties that are involved will be departmental and regional managers, IT, sales managers, project and account managers, business analysts from both Seers and any other team members from the Precise project team. This will lead to the point of view of both Sears and Precise, and the topics to be discussed will be in the predefined agenda on the next slide. As you can see, the agenda here is for the release evaluation. This will begin with introductions from all parties. This will help identify each individual, and if and when there is a next meeting, the same individuals will attend along with any other suggested parties. The meeting will then get into the purpose of the meeting so that all parties understand what will be discussed during and what is expected after the meeting. Which is when the next bullet is discussed, desired outcome, and evaluation. The highlights of the project will begin with expectations of the project itself. Did we meet this? Did we meet the project meet all its goals, etc.? Other questions that need to be asked will be, was there enough resources? Did we meet the timeline or had some adjustments? Did the budget going into the project's life cycle was enough? If it was, great. If not, why was that? Issues that the project came across during the project will also need to be discussed. Definitely not one project is perfect, which will need to review the adjustments that were done during this time. Also, were there any issues that were showstoppers or any other known issues going into the project? Some of these issues may need to be circled around and be addressed. The management of the system will be, of course, after the system has been implemented. This period will be working out the kinks of the system to better adjust the company's needs and or add any other documentation. This period will also allow the system to be enhanced or adapt to the changes of Sears in the market. This will benefit Precise's project teams as well to better serve their customers current and future. The success of the project will definitely be presented so that all parties are aware. These success stories will be based on individual and group efforts. This can be from an individual working on code to enhance the system to the extra hours of training during a go-live portion. It is important to identify these success stories so that there will be, when there are other projects like these do occur, have issues, there is a known response to them. Finally, there will be discussed the follow-up with the client to ensure that they were using the system to its full potential and any other managing tasks. At this time, all parties will be able to make any suggestions, comments, and or ask questions. Next slide. Finally here, the recommendation is to meet the goals of Sears Holding Company, which is to basically grow in the market. Sears is an international company which will need to be on top of its market to survive. This will require certain data to be gathered and stored in the data warehouse. This data will need to be structured so that integrity of the data is held and Sears can make business decisions. Precise Data Services Solutions will work with Sears from the beginning to the time of the management of the system. This will help Sears Holding Company to meet their goals and grow. Next slide. And that is it for this presentation. Thanks.